Hello everyone and welcome to C programming demo class. So what is a C programming? C is a general purpose procedural computer programming language and it is used to create operating system or various application softwares ranging from supercomputers to embedded system. C programming is the most widely used programming language in the world. And it is also known as mother language of all the programming language. Most of the programming languages are derived from C programming. So to write a code in C programming, we need ID and a compiler. You can use different compilers or ID. So here in this demo session, I'll use code blocks. So this is the official website codeblocks.org. From here you can download code blocks, download binary, and depending on your operating system you can select. So here you can choose this option. From this website or this website you can download it. Once it is installed, here how to create a project. Go to File, New, Project and select Console Application. Go and choose C language. Here you can see, then Next and specify the name. So you can give any name here and you can select the folder here. And then it will ask to change the compiler. So this is the list. So this is the compiler which is already installed in my system. And then finish it. Once you finish, you can see here the resources. So under sources folder, this is the main file. So this is a scratch code which is already created. So here we have to build it and then run it. Let me build it. And then run this. So here you can see the output. So this is the header file, standard input output and standard library. So these header files are required. And then main function. So this is a function that returns integer. And this is the entry point for the program. So here is a print statement. I'll remove it. Now let's create a variable. So I'll create here age and specify some value. And then I'll create another variable here, which is array of character that can store the string. So here I'll store a name. So this is a variable of type integer which can store whole number. It can be a negative or positive side. And this is the value. And this is another type, data type, character. And here we have array of character. To store a string we need array of character. So I'm not specifying size here. It will automatically calculate. You can specify size here. So maximum 30 characters. So basically not 30, it is 29 because one character, one space we need for null character. So I'll skip this part. Here this is a string and now let's print these things. So I'll print name equals to print array of string we use %s and age equals to %d. So here we have name and age. Let me run this. So I'll build and run this. So you can see here name and age. So this way we can store the value and we can print it. Now in this case we don't know, we know the values here. So we can specify the value. What if user don't know? In that case we have to ask the user. So let me just remove this part. Suppose I am not sure what is the value of age and name. Then let me ask the user to enter this. So here when in this array of character we have to specify the size. So maximum it can store 29 character because the last character is inserted as a null character to terminate the string. If I know that maximum it can have 30 characters, it should be a 31. Size should be 31 because the last one is we need for null character. Now let's ask the user to enter name and age. So this is a message to the user what to do. Now we have to take the input. Let's use scanf function. So first one is name. So you can use here %s, which is string. Second one is integer, so %d. And then it will be stored in name. And then here age will be stored in this variable. So here we have to get the address of this variable. How to get address? We use ampersand. This is address operator. So first give the message to the user, then user will enter the value and name will be stored in this location, this variable, and age is stored in this. Now here you can see I am using ampersand. This return the address of the variable. But here we don't need. The reason is whenever we have array of character and we specify the name of the array, it will always return the address of first character. So basically you can type here address, but it's not required. You can skip this. Anyway, it returns the address. So once it is stored, then I'll print it. I'll use here new line /n and then save it. Let me run this program again. Okay, enter your name. Let's enter age, some value, and see here name and age. Now what if I want to print the address of these location? These are variable, so of course these variable take space in memory and that memory has some address. Let's print it. So I'll create a new line here, address of name. I'll print in hexadecimal, so %x, and address of age variable %x. So how to get address? We use here address operator, address of this variable, and this is address operator, address of age, at the end semicolon. So this always return the address. Let me run this again. Okay. Age, first is name, some name, age. Now you can see here address where name is stored and address where age is stored. We can always get. Now we can use pointer to store these address. So pointer is very important concept in C programming language. So here how to create a pointer. Let me just comment. I'll remove this code and I'll create here float price some value. Okay, now I'll access this. I can access this value using this variable name, which is very simple. Just print price equals to, because it is float, so I have to use %f and then price. Let me run this program. You can see this is the output. Now let me access this value using pointer. So here I'll create a pointer variable. Pointer variable can store the address of some other variable. So which variable address I am going to store? Price, which is of type float. So I need here float pointer. So how to get address of this price? Using ampersand and then price. So here this return the address of price that is stored in this pointer variable. Now I'll access here. how to access? Using address, this pointer variable. So ptr, but this pointer will return value at that location. So here ptr store the address of price and this return the value inside this variable. Let's run this and see here. I'm able to get the value. Now let's do one thing. I'll print address. So here I'll print the address of price directly, and then I'll print address again, but this time I'll print the address using pointer. So here I'm telling that print the value of this variable, and it is a pointer variable that store the address of price. And here I'm directly accessing the address of price. So both should be same. Let's run this program. And you can see this address and this address is same. So this one I'm able to access directly with ampersand address of price, and this is the pointer variable that store the address of the variable. So here you can see ptr. Because pointer is a variable, so of course this itself has an address, right? So how to get that address? Let's print that. So I'll print address of ptr. Here again we use address of ptr, this operator. So pointer, a pointer variable that store address of some other variable, and this variable itself has some address. Here I'm able to print it. You can see this is the address of pointer variable. So again, pointer concept is very important concept in C programming language. Now let's do one thing. I'll add a condition and check. So here I'll enter. So very simple program I'll write. If age is greater than or equals to 18, so I'll do something. If this condition is true, I'll just print a message. You can vote. Otherwise, print another message. You cannot vote. So very simple program. You can see you can vote. If it is below, if it is let's say 12, so control will go to else part and you cannot vote. So if condition is true, it will execute this part. Condition is false, go to else part and execute this part. So this is our conditional statement. But now what if user enters some value which is not a valid age, let's say 900. So in this case also it will print you can vote, which is not correct. So how to handle this? Now here I'll add another condition. At the same time, and age must be less than let's say 120. Maximum I'll assume that it is 120. So I'll add two conditions. A should be greater than or equals to 18 and A should be less than 120. If both conditions are true, because I am using here AND operator, so both conditions must be true, then only control will come here. If any one condition is false or both are false, it will go to else part and execute this. Let's run it, build it and run. Now you can see you cannot vote, because it is greater than 18 but it is not less than 120. Let's say 90. Now you can see you can vote. So there are different conditional statements. We have else if ladder, nested if else. Similarly we have loops. So let's do one thing. I'll print multiplication table of a given number. So I'll ask the user to enter a number. First give the message, enter number, then take the input, scan it, because it is an integer, so I am using here %d, and then store in address of num. Now what? Now I'll use a loop. So let's use for loop here. So I initialize to 1 and I is less than or equals to 10. Up to 10 I'll go and increment it. Then let's print. So what I have to print? So %d multiply by %d, which will map equals to another %d. So first one is the value, which is num multiply by I, which will change 1 to 10, and then here num into I, and at the end I'll put /n. Now let's run this code. Okay, enter a number. Let's find maybe 38 and see. This is a multiplication table of 38 from 1 to 10. So there are different concepts we will study in this course, like structure, array, pointer, file handling. So many concepts are there. This is just a demo session.